2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And Oklahoma City is where we'll be going just moments from now, as the Thunder will be going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, for Minnesota, 5-5 over their last 10 games, but they're not satisfied with 500 ball, looking to tack one onto the win tally tonight. And tonight, get ready for some highlights. 2 lightning-quick, high-flying clubs. Kenny, when you have teams as athletic as these, how can one side carve out an advantage?
Poise. That's it. You want to be athletic, but you also want to be level-headed. You got to have a combination of the two. You got to execute your plays, and you just don't rely on your physical gifts, because that could be detrimental.
And not only that, A&B, FAE.
What's that?
Avoid mistakes, be fast and efficient.
Wow. FMB.
Where do you come up with that?
FAE?
A&B, FAE.
Okay.
Avoid mistakes.
Okay.
Be fast and efficient.
God, man, that's quick and fast and hurry.
It's going to be an exciting matchup. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
You're the first person who's ever said that.
AMB, FAE.
It's an all-Western Conference matchup in today's game as the Timberwolves come into town for this one. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge joins us from the sideline. Maybe the upper hand in this one, the Oklahoma City Thunder won the last matchup of the season against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And guys, they come into this one looking for win number 3 on the season against these guys. They already have won the first 2.
And the previous meeting was a win for them and a huge day for the bench. The reserves really stepped it up with their scoring.
Greg, we know how important it is when you can go to your reserves without much drop-off in production. Gives you a big advantage. I know they'd love to see that again tonight.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, guys, we all know how hard Russell Westbrook plays every night. Coach Billy Donovan said he plays with such force and passion. He gets so intense, so competitive, so emotional, but he's doing a good job of bringing himself back together and understanding there's other guys out there depending on him. Kevin?
And that's how Russ has always been, DA, a high-motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. And it should be a high-paced game tonight as both of these teams, Clark, thrive in the open floor. So with that being said, what makes these teams so good on the break?
Well, you're right, Kevin. They do thrive in the open court. Excellent transition teams because they push the ball and they really have a conscious effort to run the floor at every opportunity. That's what makes fast break teams hard to beat, is because they're running all the time. And that doesn't give your defense a lot of time to set up.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Towns in at the 5, down low. Paul George with the steal. Cans the shot from the wing. George has got the game going here with the first basket for the Thunder.
Well, we've talked about, George is athletic. He's long, and he's got really long arms, which helps him as a defender, and that allows him to clog up passing lanes and come up with steals, too.
Now here's Gibson. The shot by Butler, nobody around. The three-pointer, no good. Anthony with it, now defended by Wiggins. The shot by George, wide open, and out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. On defense, Oklahoma City. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
And this is why scouting is so important. You've got to be able to identify those role players who can complement what your team does.
And you know what, Greg? Every team has guys that play different roles. As a matter of fact, most players in the league are role players. It's a matter of understanding your role and doing it well, because role players are just as important as the stars.
Teague kicks to Butler. He's looking for Teague and finds him. That one goes. Count it.
Hey, Teague's not a big guy, but he's not really pint-sized. Nonetheless, impressive work for the little fella to get it done inside.
Oklahoma City has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Anthony right side. Over Gibson. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Towns the screen. Teague kicks to Towns. In the corner, Gibson with it. Here's Butler. Banked in off the glass. Butler's got his first bucket in this one.
Really hard to stay with Jimmy Butler because he's so good at getting shots up and in past the defense. Just has a real knack for scoring even when challenged. You know, this just hasn't been his quarter. I mean, he doesn't seem to be comfortable at all, particularly shooting. I mean, he knows he's struggling right now.
And Gibson kicks to Butler. The feed to Towns. There's the screen. Shoots over Adams. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Good defense, lots of pressure there, but Towns adept at scoring with the hand in his face.
Here's Westbrook. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
And he'll take that. The nice, easy mid-range jumper, first bucket of the day.
The defense just gave him that one, and you talk about starting on a high note. Didn't seem to respect his mid-range J there.
Oh, that's offensive interference. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Anthony with it. He's coming off a 13-point game against Orlando.
Yeah, excellent work on the boards that night. Always in attack mode, and that allowed him to get plenty of rebounds.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's finishing your defense, Greg. We know that. You can defend, then you got to rebound the miss, and you got to get to the glass with intensity.
Now, here's Butler. 20 points for him last game against the Pelicans in New Orleans.
And even if you took away his points, he was still an offensive force because of his passing. His assist numbers were tremendous.
And with Andrew Wiggins, you know he can be deadly from mid-range, but he's seen an uptick in scoring, Clark, because he's been focusing on all the little things you need to master as a perimeter wing threat.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He has been focusing on those intangible, those small things that are big things in making a difference in how efficient you are on offense. He's improved his play running the pick and roll every year. He's excellent in transition and off cuts, and has really worked on becoming a better finisher off the screen and roll handoff.
And both free throws good for Wiggins.
Hey, and you know, when you're the #1 overall pick, there's some pressure that comes with that stature, and Wiggins had a lot of pressure on him because of that. Has responded well, though, and I think stardom is in this guy's future. I mean, you look at his overall game and how he's developing, a really good threat on offense, and I think he's got a chance to be all NBA defense at some point.
Roberson the pass to Westbrook. Off target with his 3. Minnesota in the lead. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart.
Well, trying to employ physical defense against Wiggins, but this young man powers right through it. Very impressive.
And just thinking about the maturing of Wiggins' game and how he's developed, Clark, he's shown that he can carry an offense as a perimeter player. Few can do that at his age.
Yeah, and he was able to do that in part because he was forced to. When Levine went down last season with an injury, stepped up his scoring, and I think he's only going to get better as he gets older.
And the first one at the line is good. You know, Clark, at the end of last season, the Timberwolves unveiled this new logo they're sporting this season. They felt it was time for an update, and you have to say it looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, most teams in the NBA want to mix their logo up every so often to keep it modern and up to date and fresh. The Wolves have a young group and felt it was the right time to re-examine the logo, and I can't argue with them. Sometimes a little change like that can pay big dividends. Great touch from the line. Always important for bigger guys to be able to come through at the stripe.
Towns kicks to Teague. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. No good from Gibson. Oklahoma City trailer. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Westbrook. Anthony's got his second basket of the game.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
18 feet out, and that one comes up a bit short.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on his game.
Just a touch. I mean, it seems like he's forcing shots a little bit to me, Greg. Not playing his game right now, and with every miss, the pressure intensifies.
Here's Roberson, defended by Butler. And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. Charity stripe shot. Good as the jump shot falls. Westbrook's got his second bucket tonight. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Thunder?
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover. The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Teague drives in. Good, and the assist goes to Towns.
And, you know, you like seeing Jeff Teague flip the switch. I mean, he's a shifty guard that usually makes pretty strong, sharp cuts.
Now, here's Adams. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Back to Westbrook. To the paint. Looking for George. He gets it there. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
I tell you what, mind-blowing experience when you look at Paul George as a dunker. This guy makes alley-oops look easy.
Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Here's Butler. And we know he can score. He's averaging around 21.5 points a game. And there's the foul. Goes on Taj Gibson. That is his first foul of the game. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Anthony. Eustace comes in for George. Abrinas is checked in for Andre Robertson. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Now, here's Felton. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Screen by Adams. Here's Abrinas. Up again. It's good on the putback.
There you go. Relentless pursuit of the ball. I love it. He never stopped working.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Outside, Jones. Here's Crawford. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wentz.
I could not say it any better, showing you some real focus, taking it inside against the bigger man.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
And, you know, with those numbers, he makes a defender hesitant to get too tight on him. I mean, he doesn't want to get whistled for the foul and put this guy on the line.
One shot, gentlemen.
And Crawford, no good on that one. And Clark, if you're a player on a cold streak, either in a game or over a couple games, does that tend to stay with you and get in your head?
You know, it's been so long since I played, Kevin. I would like to think that it didn't with me because the games came so fast. You're playing 3, 4, 5 times a week. You don't have time to loiter on a good game or bad game because the next one is on top of you. So I typically was able to get on to the next play within a game and to the next game after the prior game.
For Minnesota, they've gotten 8 of their 13 shots to find the bottom of the bucket. Back to Jones. Pass to Jang. The tray. And Gorgie Jang is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Minnesota comes into this one following a loss to New Orleans.
Yeah, you're just not going to win many committing turnovers at the rate they did. That was just outrageous.
Yeah, carelessness. That's what it was. I mean, slinging all kind of risky passes and dribbling with no purpose. I call that treadmill dribbling. You're moving but not going anywhere. You can't win that way. Well, I like watching him get after it on the glass now, staying active, and usually that leads to good things.
Felton against Jones. Rebound, Minnesota.
That's smothering defense. Chicken and gravy defense, not giving him an inch there. That's how you guard the inside. Yes, sir.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That's his first foul. Now, here's Felton. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Here's Aprinas.
Nothing dropping for him, so I think in the best interest of his team, he may need to think about not shooting right now.
And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for Minnesota.
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
And he makes the first. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Oklahoma City shooting their 5th and 6 free throws of the game. The first one falls. Collison hits them both. One thing that Tom Thibodeau can be dependent on as a coach is giving his star players a lot of minutes. In fact, in Chicago, Clark, some criticized him for doing that. Others praised him for it. But the fact of the matter is, if you're a team leader, he expects you to be on the floor a lot and produce a lot.
Yeah, and you know, that's part of the job. Hey, when you get right down to it, if you're one of the best players, you've got to show up and do your job all the time. And you look at players who've played under Thibodeau. I mean, he's had the league leader in average minutes 3 times in his career as a coach. Said himself that he expects his guys to get used to what star players do, which includes a lot of minutes.
Now here's Jones. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2. Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes, 6 already.
It's taken away by Collison. Here's Eustace. That's tipped. Crawford outside. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
And I think they're winning because of him. I mean, he's hitting a lot of his shots right now. Yeah, you know, Kevin, when you play against this Minnesota team, you know they like to play at a slower pace. I mean, they had one of the slowest paces of play in the league last season. Not a team that really wants to put the pedal to the metal.
Mind the lane. One shot.
And Crawford, no good on that one. And for the Wolves and their slower style of play, Clark, it makes sense when you look at their roster. They have guys who command a lot of attention in half-court sets.
I agree with you, Kevin. I mean, Towns is the big one there. His versatility, he can step out as a big guy and make perimeter shots out to the three-point line. He can post it. Pretty good passer. Wiggins, terrific in isolations. Outstanding offensive player. This team can score the ball in transition. It's just not something they look for. I think they've got to balance it, though. Half-court action and a little more transition opportunity, and to grow defensively will allow this team to sniff the playoffs.
Here's Eustace. The pass to Patterson. Clock at 6. Puts it up from 17. Muhammad grabs the board. Minnesota's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. It's Bielitsa. Abrinas with a rebound.
And, you know, that's an easy one. You can't miss these shots. Those are makeable shots, especially when the defense isn't on its game.
Got a piece of it. Crawford, no one around him. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18 children back in New Zealand.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do everything, like all chores, pretty much 18 years of being rookie. That's pretty much all it is, and people just beat you up for no reason.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, I'd say it might have toughened him up a little bit, that's for sure. Wow, 18? That is mind-boggling.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And what do you guys think about Minnesota here in this one?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Yeah, outworking them right now, plain and simple. I mean, they've been terrific in the open floor.
On the court for Minnesota, they've got Muhammad. Jones is out there with Crawford. Then it's Gorgie Dan, and it's Bielitsa in at the 4 spot. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. But he is not resting on his laurels. He said, "I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times." Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player, and it's in there. Timberwolves trail by 3. Crawford outside. Outside, Jones. Here's Muhammad. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Jang. And where the shot's been coming from tonight, here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Minnesota.
And they haven't been able to exploit the three from the corner. Maybe some better ball movement would help open the floor and get that shot into their arsenal.
Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Abrinas kicks to Collison. Felton with the ball. Jones covering. Back to Collison. Over Jang. The shot missing. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket. And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Now, here's Collison. He kicks it to Felton. Good, and the assist goes to Collison. Felton has got his first bucket in this one.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Jang a screen. Jang with the screen for Crawford. Here's Muhammad. That's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. I just love what Muhammad can do, Clark, for a team coming off the bench. Always looks to attack the basket, and when he is locked in, can function as one of the better 6 men in the league.
Yeah, you know, for some guys, Kevin, being a rotational player off the bench is a hand-in-glove fit. And I think Muhammad falls into that category. I mean, you can give him a start if you needed to. He's not the best defender, but you love what he brings on offense, particularly if he's coming off the bench.
And that one falls for Muhammad.
You know, Shabazz Muhammad was one of the biggest names in all of high school sports as a senior. He's still trying to find that same kind of buzz and groove at this level.
And Oklahoma City going with a whole new group out there. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Towns, he's checked in for Jang. Gibson comes in for Bielitsa. Butler, he's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Teagan for Jones. One of the hardest things, Clark, to defend in the league is the pick and roll. What do defenders need to key on when they're defending a pick and roll?
Well, I think a couple of things. One is you want to try to dictate where the pick and roll is going to happen and where you want the ball handler to go. And then there's got to be great communication. The 2 guys involved in the screen and roll have to be on the same page. There's got to be a lot of talk. And then the 3 guys maybe not involved have to be ready to help their teammates. So communication, a real sense of trying to dictate to that ball handler where you want him to go and what you want to give up, because you can't take away everything when you're defending a good pick and roll combination.
The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Here's Muhammad. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Muhammad's got the lead up to 4 now for Minnesota.
And I like the decisions Butler makes with the ball. He's a solid passer and really has a nice feel for how to get his teammates open and clean looks.
Buries it from 3-point range. 7 points for Teague.
Great idea to pull up and take the transition 3 there. The D was in position to block his path to the hoop if he took it inside.
And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. Screen by Adams. Pass to Anthony. And he drops it in from the low post. Anthony's got 6 points.
And love the muscle Anthony brings to the 3 spot. Takes pride in outworking everyone when he's that deep inside.
Now here's Butler. That one drops for him. Teague's got the lead back up to 7 now for Minnesota.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Westbrook dishes to Adams. And, yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. And he can't get the first one.
And as you would expect, Steven Adams has grown into a larger role with this team. Really came in as a guy who could defend and rebound, but starting to become more of a factor within their offensive framework.
Wiggins is checked in for Shabazz Muhammad. So here's Westbrook. He picked up 27 points in their last win against the Magic in Orlando.
And one of the big ways he came through was at the foul line. They couldn't contain him. He was equally effective at scoring baskets as well as getting to the line.
And Greg, with Adams, he hasn't just been given more opportunity to display what he can do on offense. He's earned it.
You hit it right on the head. And, you know, as an example, a guy that was a bad free throw shooter, all of a sudden he became respectable because of his work ethic last season. Much more nimble in the paint than most would think. Just good awareness, and he knows when to pick his spots.
Here's Roberson. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. Here's Anthony. No good. That's miss number 2 against 3 makes from the field.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead.
And here now the Thunder. They trail by 6. Tries it from the top of the key. And here's George for 3. George missing again.
Obviously, I mean, it would go a long way if he's making his shots. Right now, they're behind, and they certainly could use his help.
Here's Butler, and that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 3 assists tonight.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Now Westbrook, one of the most consistent producers in the league. He's averaging around 25.5 points a game. For the 3. No good on that one. Minnesota with the ball. They're on an 18-7 run. Teague, the pass to Towns. Back to Teague. Timberwolves passing it around. Feeds it to Towns. Teague drives in.
And really one of the quickest guards in our league. Jeff Teague just puts tremendous pressure on your defense when he's attacking the paint.
And you know, guys, early in his career, Jeff Teague was more of a scoring point guard. As his career has continued, he's gotten much better at surveying the court and creating opportunities for his teammates.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
And you know what I like most about Teague is his confidence. I mean, he's unflappable. He's cool and composed, and yet plays the game with a real fire.
And so Teague hits 2 free throws.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Yeah, there's no reason why they should be scoring at will down there easily as they have. I mean, they've got to be more aggressive inside.
Yeah, you know, some of it's shot selection, some just bad luck, and they just can't get anything going.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they've been a bit unlucky. Some of it is poor shot selection, in a slump, no doubt. But it can be turned around. They just need to find ways to score the ball.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Now here's Adams. Following the miss by Taj Gibson, Anthony. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Towns has got 5 rebounds tonight.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
Love the assist. I mean, he knew exactly where that bounce pass had to be to create that opportunity.
Gibson the screen. T kicks to Wiggins. Anthony against Butler. The Thunder pull it in. Anthony's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Westbrook. Westbrook missing again. Timberwolves leading by 8. Outside Teague. Kicks it out to Gibson. Outside Butler. Off target from outside. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 7 of 16, shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter. And that one's good. Westbrook.
Yeah, awesome watching Westbrook drain the 3 ball there. He just needs to focus on being a little more efficient from downtown.
Now here's Butler. 6 points for him. In the corner, it's Wiggins. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. And he lays it straight in. Towns has got his second basket of the game.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Near the 3-point line, it's Westbrook, and the shot falls short this time. Wiggins with it. Westbrook picks him up. Butler kicks to Towns. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 5 assists in the game.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Now here's Westbrook. He's got 9. Screen by Adams. And George kicks to Adams. Towns comes with a double team. Shot clock at 5. Shot from 12. And Gibson sends it back.
And Gibson just out here to play hard defense, showing great awareness coming up there with that block.
It's stolen by Anthony. Kicks it to Westbrook. Goes up on the wing, and Anthony gets it to go on the assist by Westbrook. 8 points for Carmelo Anthony.
Nothing new there to see Anthony knock down one of those beauties.
Towns, no luck.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
You know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota. Growing up, Clark, you were Mr. Basketball USA, a national ranking. Be truthful. How dominant were you in high school in Cleveland, Ohio?
I was a really good high school player, considered one of the top 2 or 3 in the country in 1979, which was actually perhaps the best high school class ever. Documented by many who follow the game: Isaiah Thomas and Sam Bowie, James Worthy, Ralph Sampson, Dale Ellis, Terry Cummings, Dominique Wilkins. I could go on and on. A terrific class, and I was considered at the top of that class as a high school.
Here is Felton. Tyus Jones picking up that last basket. Eustace kicks to Abrinas. Patterson, the screen. This one for 3. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
He has gotten into a great rhythm here in this quarter, playing with just bundles of confidence.
Deflects the pass, and that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. And now you see the 2K leaderboard. Not only have these teams caused a lot of turnovers over the last 10 games, but they've scored off them as well. The Thunder in 4th.
I mean, they've gotten a little more aggressive defensively. You can become a more confident team on that end, and so much of it, I think, has to do with forcing turnovers and creating offense.
.112 left to play in the first half. Jones, no luck.
And sometimes, you know, you don't capitalize off a good shot or a good look. Still, you got to keep letting those good looks fly.
Here's Abrinas, and the rejection by Jang.
And this is something you'd like to see more of from Jang, given his size and wingspan. And Nemanja Bjelica, a stretch big out of Serbia, is a guy who has a nice shooting stroke and can help space the floor for you because of that. When he's active on the offensive end looking for a shot, I think that's when he most helps his team.
Shooting 2.
That free throw missing. And Bjelica at times can fall into that bystander mode, Clark. It was something he was hoping to improve on and avoid last season before he had to be shut down with a foot injury.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, I can recall a game last season where Towns actually had to tell Bjelica, shoot, you're open. With his skill set, you want this guy to be aggressive looking for his shot. He needs to hunt his shot. The consistency he's building after a few seasons in the NBA, I think, is really starting to help his confidence.
Here's Abrinas. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Magic in Orlando. Collison dishes to Felton. Back to Collison. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
And this is his 3rd trip to the line tonight. First one falls for him. He's off on the second.
And, you know, Gorgui Dieng is a big man who can play both the 4 and the 5. He doesn't stand out on offense, understated there, but very valuable and solid and consistent. He's a rim protector and a space eater, but also a pretty effective rebounder, too.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's the screen. Just 5 to shoot to the left side wing. Here's Patterson. To come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Crawford outside, fires from deep, drilled it right as the clock hit all zeros.
Wow, what a clutch shot. He's got nerves of steel.
Woo! Gotta have big-time nerves to hit a shot like that at the buzzer.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves going into the break with a 10-point lead. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, guys. Andrew, what do you like about the way the team's playing so far?
We're competitive right now. We're going after it. You know, every possession, we're going hard.
We'll see if that continues in the second half, Andrew. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the 3rd quarter after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson, joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports.
Been working out.
We saw Jamal Crawford lighting it up in the first half. He had 14 points and 1 rebound. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
Well, they really dictated the pace of the game with their transition game. They got out on the break every chance they had, and the time they could push the tempo, they did. And a lot of times it kept the defense scrambling like eggs with the cheese and apple juice.
And over to Kenny, your thoughts on the Thunder.
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And now, folks, just moments away from the start of the third quarter.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. Jamal Crawford really making a difference here.
Well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
And, you know, Greg, I like how they've set the pace. There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Timberwolves leading by 10. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So for
you see Towns setting the monster pick. I mean, as he's filled out, he's become a real hard guy to get around when he screens.
That was a terrific replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Westbrook against T. 5 on the clock. Here's George. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. George has got 10.
George is outstanding in his decision-making off picks. He knows when to shoot and when to pass.
Butler kicks to Towns. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Outside Anthony. No good there.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations Tom Thibodeau says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive. The magic is in the work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything.
They're in a hurry. I think, Kevin, they're rushing things a little bit to begin the half. Nothing pretty about this 1-for-4 start.
Timberwolves leading by 10. Here's Butler. Got a hand on it.
1 for 5 on offense. A slow start here in the second half.
And Robertson has it in the corner. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for Minnesota.
What a display we've seen from them so far. Every half open look they've gotten, they've knocked down and showed no signs of letting up. Right now, they are in the driver's seat. As long as they can keep their rhythm on offense, they'll just steamroll this team the rest of the way.
Thunder trailing by 10. Outside Westbrook. It's stolen by T. Towns kicks to Wiggins. Back to Towns. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
You know, despite his youth, Kevin, Towns sees the big picture. I mean, gets points any way you can, and we'll see if he can cash in at the line here. You know, watching Towns play, you always hope to catch him on a night where he's in attack mode, being aggressive. He's, I think, most dangerous when he's aggressive on offense and attacking the basket. At times, he can settle for the perimeter shot a little much, but he's got so much to offer in his offensive game that I just like watching him play, period.
And he knocks down the first one. And Clark, to the point about Towns settling for outside shots, last season it was something that he self-corrected. After the halfway point of the season, he took less threes and it drastically improved his output.
Well, quite honestly, Kevin, the bulk of his points should come from near the rim, but he does need to take some of those perimeter shots to keep the defense honest and a little off balance. And I think he's really unstoppable, though, when he gets going to the hoop.
And looking at Towns,
And what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20-10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City. George has got the ball.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Anthony, the pass to Westbrook. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. And when you look at the second year for Towns, it's comparable to other great big men in the history of the NBA. And Greg, I'm talking about players in the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, I mean, just on the sophomore season stats, he looks like he projects to be one of the all-time greats. Comparable numbers to some of the best who have ever played it. Think of these names: Hakeem, Duncan, Ewing, and the Admiral. Maybe we'll be saying Karl Anthony Towns as well.
For Minnesota, they have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Those are good numbers for any team. I mean, they can feel extremely good about their free throw shooting percentage this season.
One shot. One shot.
Thunder trailing by 15. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
He's forcing shots offensively, hurting his team in the process. He needs to trust his teammates more.
And here's a look at stats for Adams. This last month, he's been positively spectacular. 8th in field goal percentage, and he's in the top 20 in steals, bringing that focus and intensity at both ends.
And back to his phenomenal efficiency from 3, top 10 in the league. His consistent shooting creates so many openings in the defense. Westbrook kicks to George. With the shot. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
4 on the clock, and Muhammad gets it to go.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
From past the arc, Minnesota working now with the new shot clock. Gibson. Here's Butler, and Adams sends it back.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
George against Muhammad. Here's Adams. Adams. Great positioning on the putback.
Boy, he's been excellent thus far, Kevin, but it still hasn't been enough to get them the lead.
Down low, here's Towns, and that comes off the assist by Jeff T. And it's 13 points for Karl Anthony Towns. And here's Westbrook. He's got 9. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
The dish to Adams. In the corner, George with it. Out of bounds, Minnesota takes possession. The story from beyond the arc, here's who's leading in that category across the NBA. 5th, Jimmy Butler.
What a percentage that is for him from three-point range this season. His deep touch is about as good as you're going to see.
Minnesota leading by 17. Outside Teague. Pass to Towns. Butler in the corner. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And watching Jimmy Butler,
He just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
The free throw drops for Butler. And Greg, as you said, Butler is a threat to score from any part of the floor.
It's a bit of a dying art, though, hitting that mid-range jump shot. Butler also does a great job of getting to the line. That's increased over the course of his career. Just a well-rounded offensive player.
Both shots good from the stripe.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
Westbrook with it. Picked up by Teague. Anthony left side. Shoots over Towns. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Here's Adams. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Adams has got 4 points in the quarter.
Well-coordinated shot mechanics, especially for a guy with his length.
Yeah, and, you know, it looks effortless, easy, silky smooth, textbook shooting form. Man, that's nice.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Towns. Bielitsa comes in for Taj Gibson. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler, and Jones subbed in for Jeff Teague. Second shot opportunity. Abrinas' shot is off. And the Timberwolves with possession. They're on an 18-6 run. And Muhammad kicks to Zhang. Dishes to Crawford. 14 feet away. Abrinas with a rebound.
Boy, Kevin, he just clanked that one. I mean, surprising because the defense wasn't really in the picture.
Tries it from 9. Rebound by Bielitsa. Bielitsa's got his 5th rebound in this one. Muhammad, no luck. And there's the call on Shabazz Muhammad. That's his first foul. Oklahoma City's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Collison with a screen on Jones. Patterson, the screen. He got right to the cup using that screen.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Boy, like his intensity, Greg. He's not afraid to take it straight to the rack on the bigger defender. Right at it.
Here's Crawford, and he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
And for the Thunder, they're shooting poorly, just 35% so far. Felton kicks to Patterson. Patterson, the screen. Here's Abrinas, 6 to shoot. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Felton can't get it to go. Minnesota leading by 23. Crawford kicks to Muhammad. There's the triple and another 3 for Minnesota.
Yeah, I think this is an area where Muhammad can improve, quite honestly, Kevin. An increase in range, I think, would help set the rest of his game up nicely.
There's the screen. Collison with a screen on Jones. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark.
You know, Kevin, his team is struggling a bit right now. I mean, I hope he can find his rhythm and start making his shots out there soon. Otherwise, ...
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
And he knocks down the first one. More and more we see coaches resting players to keep them from getting overworked. The benefits, Clark, are clear for the players, but is it something that is getting overused?
I don't know if overused is the right word, Kevin. I don't like to see it as much because I think there are other ways you can rest players. Games can be part of your strategy, but how about practices being more a part of how you rest players? It got an awful lot of attention this past season, and for good reason. And I would think the coaches and players will adjust because it's not a good optics for your viewing public and your paying patrons to just arbitrarily do it. I understand it, but I think there's a balancing act that could be performed that would make it not appear as disruptive to the fans as it was this past season.
Jones has gone 1 of 4 so far. To halt the run, in deep, Felton drops it in. Felton has got 4 points this quarter.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kills, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
Lets it go, and too long on the shot.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
For Oklahoma City, they have made 7 free throws and missed 3 in this game.
And really, the form at the line all season has been terrific. 79% as a team.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved.
Wiggins is checked in for Minnesota.
1 shot.
Jones with it. Crawford outside. Back to Jones. Over Felton. Again, the miss by Jones. Oklahoma City shooting poorly, just 35% so far. Patterson, the screen. Outside, Felton. Patterson setting the pick for Felton. To the middle, Collison. Minnesota with the rebound. Jang's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Here's Crawford. It's Bielitsa. And he banks in the layup. Bielitsa's got 8 points.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Here's Abrinas, guarded by Crawford. With the teardrop, Abrinas' shot is off. Minnesota's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. Crawford dishes to Wiggins. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. He's got 8.
Boy, Wiggins does it in so many different ways, Kevin, and that scoring versatility of his, special. This time he got it done in the painted area.
Passes it to Houston. They set the pick. And stolen by Wiggins. Crawford passes to Wiggins. It's Bielitsa. Boom, he jams it straight down. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 10 rebounds.
And guys, that's his game. I mean, battling in the paint and cashing in on those second chance opportunities.
And Greg, cashing in hard. I mean, man, oh man, he puts an exclamation point on that dunk.
Yes.
Guys, that's the only way he knows how to do it. Soft, I don't even think is in his vocabulary. Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
Here's Wiggins, hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup.
Solid interior defense, but Wiggins with the body control to adjust. Nicely done.
Felton kicks to Collison, and the rejection by Jang. Crawford. He doesn't hit that one. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going into the break. Their defense has been very effective in locking down Russell Westbrook. Back right after this. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shot. In transition, everyone talking. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his team to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yeah, taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy baskets on the fast break. These are key elements in terms of you having success.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Brooks out there with Wiggins. Then there's Cole Aldrich. And it's Bielitsa in its small forward. No one covering. Wiggins has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Timberwolves. Here's Kristen. And there's the pass to Ferguson. No good on the triple. Now here's Wiggins. Clark, the current era is so connected to fans through social media. Just how much has that changed the NBA, do you think?
Well, I don't think it's just changed the NBA. It's changed our society and culture at large, and it's here to stay. I just like to see people productively and fruitfully use social media. And I would like to see less of the vitriol and hatred that is afforded for people to hide behind with their negative comments.
Here's Kristen. Brooks covering. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Hustis. A 3-ball. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Brooks kicks to Wiggins. The tray. That ball is good for another field goal. His 6th. He is 6 for 9 on the stat sheet.
And guys, this is the blueprint for winning on the road. How about the level of focus on each and every possession?
Yeah, it's actually palpable, isn't it, Greg? I mean, you can feel it. Every single one of these guys locked in, playing for each other. And that's why they're up.
No, that's some fancy ball handling right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble?
Brooks kicks to Bielitsa. Back to Brooks. He dishes it to Aldrich. He feeds it to Wiggins.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting has really improved here in the second half.
And Clark, we've heard the term empty stats for players that put up big numbers but didn't impact the game to the same level of those numbers. What do you think about empty stats?
I'm mixed on empty stats. Clearly some stats impact winning more than others, but in this day of analytics, some of the stats that apparently document impacting winning may be overdone as well. Statistics are statistics. They're part of the game, and you evaluate them in the context of a number of variables. So They're here to stay. Empty is probably too strong because they're part of the game.
And the Thunder with some changes. Steven Adams comes in for Nick Collison. And it's Carmelo Anthony in for Houston. And both free throws good for Wiggins.
A decent free throw shooter is Wiggins, trying to become more than that, though, given how often he gets himself to the line.
Adams dishes to Carmelo. Screen by Adams. Anthony kicks to Adams. Rebound by Aldridge. For Minnesota, they've gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Wiggins passes to Brooks. Floats it up for Wiggins. Out of bounds. Oklahoma City takes possession.
You know, that's not how you distribute the ball. Needs to be more focused when making passes like that.
Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And Aldridge sends it back.
Well, we know this about Aldridge, Kevin. I mean, a plus shot blocker. Shows good instincts and gives maximum effort.
And Patton gets it to go.
And since they've come out of halftime, they've been extremely poised and very efficient.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, certainly a step up from the first half. They're more engaged, more focused here in this second half, and they're getting good results.
Screen by Adams. Grant dishes to Adams. And basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10. For Minnesota, they've gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. Brooks kicks to Wiggins. From 11 feet away, Thunder with the rebound. They host the Spurs after this one. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home.
And the rebounding has been key to their success here tonight.
It has been a lopsided battle on the boards, no doubt.
Stolen by Grant. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. It's deflected, and they're able to recover. It's been all Timberwolves. Here in the fourth, they've allowed just 4 points. Brooks. Here's Patton. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then fouls it up, Greg, with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback.
Got a pigeon on that one. Easy money right there, fellas. Going old school on you young fellas. Look that up. Pigeon.
Now Brooks. There's a screen. Shoots off the screen. The shot that time not on target. Some solid defense from Grant. Well, the NBA has made some adjustments to prevent the hack-a-shack strategy, fouling big men who can't make free throws. It still happens. Clark, is it always going to be a part of the game, do you think?
I think it will be part of the game, and I don't necessarily like it. I would much rather see the rule be changed because I think it just enhances the quality of the product. Some would argue the strategy should be on board for poor free throw shooters. I disagree.
Patton the pass to Bielitsa. Shoots over Adams. Bielitsa with the bucket.
You know, when he gets rolling, guys, he can be an absolute handful to have to deal with. And right now, he is rolling strong.
The feed now to Grant. Screen by Adams. Off the pick. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Gotta give the defense credit. That was a great contest on a high percentage shot in the paint.
Brooks, that's a 2-pointer. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Here's Kristen. Brooks covering. Grant with a screen on Brooks. And Kristen kicks to Grant. Screen by Adams. Shot clock at 6. Now here's Brooks. Not a lot of room. Oklahoma City's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. And it's Grant in the corner. Adams sets the pick for Grant. Off the screen. The shot off that time. And Minnesota now the other way. Brooks kicks to Bielitsa. To the paint. A shot's good from Aldrich.
And, you know, Aldridge is getting to the point in his career where he's developed a number of moves inside, and good play call there for him.
And here is Anthony. Pass to Ferguson. Outside Anthony. Adams sets the pick for Anthony. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And beyond his ability to shine on the basketball floor, you have to commend Carmelo Anthony's effort, Greg, to get NBA players and other athletes more involved in making the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but guys like Melo see what is beyond the world of basketball. He's spoken out as well as done the legwork of being active in his communities, and a lot of charity work for Melo. It's just nice to see the maturation process play out.
And the first one drops. Well, we've seen super teams more and more the last decade. Clark, are stacked teams like the Warriors or the Cavaliers, do you think good for the NBA?
I think it's just part of the NBA. I don't think it's necessarily good or bad, quite honestly. I understand the way some folks look at that, having a dominant team that everybody chases or a couple of dominant teams. How about the Lakers and Celtics during their heyday, or the Sixers and Celtics when they were battling in the East? The Bucks were really good and couldn't quite get past the Celtics or Sixers. I think excellent championship caliber teams, only if there are a few, it's good for the league. I don't necessarily think it's bad. And when you've got competitive balance throughout the league, I think that's good too.
Abrinas, the pass to Anthony. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Free throw line jump shot. The putback. And it's Adams on the follow.
Great job of crashing the offensive glass. He stayed with it. That's hard-nosed, tough basketball.
Crawford kicks to Muhammad. Some solid defense from Grant.
Now, that's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
He gets that one. The Timberwolves have gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth, right around 46-47%. Jones dishes to Crawford. Got a piece of it, and he recovers it. He kicks to Aldrich. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Patterson, he's checked in for the Thunder. Six to shoot. Here's Aldrich. Adams, some nice D. Oklahoma City has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. No good from Grant. One item that stood out, their ball movement.
Things are definitely clicking, and more importantly, it makes it really hard to defend. I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Adams sets the pick for Felton. Feeds to Adams. Shoots over Aldrich. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. It's been all Timberwolves. Crawford outside, and Muhammad has it in the corner. They need this one, and Muhammad throws it down.
Yeah, I tell you what, Kevin, once Muhammad gets to the rim, that giant wingspan just really takes over.
Felton with the ball. Kicks it to Patterson. Passes it to Abrinas. Adams with the screen on Crawford. Here's Abrinas. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Aldridge has got his 4th rebound in this one. Muhammad on the wing. There's 1:54 left to play in the final quarter. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Muhammad's got 4 points in the quarter.
And I think this is where Muhammad's most dangerous, being aggressive, attacking off the bounce. That's his strength right now.
A minute 50 left in the 4th. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Back to Abrinas. Patterson, the screen. They swipe it.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Timberwolves.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
Really a big-time win for these guys. They lost their first 2 games of the year to this team, so they won't be in danger of getting swept when they meet for the 4th time.
And you got to believe that's important, Greg. I mean, it's one thing to lose both games of an interconference series. It's a whole different story losing all 4 games to a team from your own conference.
They set the pick. Here's Muhammad. From outside, off the mark. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Felton kicks to Grant. The dish to Patterson. No good on the 3. They are enjoying the commanding lead.
And it really gives them the opportunity to give their starters a rest. Always critical when you get ready for that home stretch.
Here's Jones. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Jimmy, you have been outspoken about the need for maximum effort. Was it part of your plan to grab wins like the one we saw tonight?
It wasn't a part of my plan, but whatever works, works. I think we got a bunch of talented guys, and at times we forget how hard we got to play. On the road, at home, this is how we got to play basketball.
Jimmy, thanks for the time, man. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.